Our next speaker is Mr. Chandrashekhar Nene. Mr. Nene, a very large experience of working in information technology sector in senior position, having worked as vice president and chief information officer with a number of companies such as Al Watan Airways, Kuwait Airways, Kingfisher Airlines, Kenya Airways, and Jet Airways. Also, he worked as VP IT for Idea Cellular and Tata Indico. He introduced the first e-ticket for air travels in India and also launched the first prepaid mobile SIM card. He also conducts stress relief workshop and motivational mentoring for young and middle-aged executives. He has delivered many public lectures on various issues about Maratha history, foreign policy, state finance, and geopolitics. He has also contributed articles on various subjects to different newspapers and magazines on a wide variety of subjects and is frequently invited on various television channels and expert on channels as an expert on finance, foreign relations, defense, environmental science, and various cultural history issues. He worked as a visiting professor at various colleges such as VJT Engineering College in Mumbai. Currently, he is teaching various subjects for mass media for graduate and postgraduate media students at Ruya College, Martina, and Satya College, Ville Pale. Mr. Nene holds a bachelor's degree in electronics and from MS University, Baroda, and LLB from Mumbai University. Let us welcome Mr. Chandrashekhar Nene.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. I have been very fortunate to be part of this August gathering. My regards to the senior parliamentarian, Mr. Premachandran. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank
you.
You.
Yes, you are well audible.
Yeah. It's very interesting that we have been facing this corona pandemic actually, in current time zone. In fact, it is very fortunate for us that this time zone ICT, the information and communication technology industry, is at a level that it is now. If it was, say, even 10 years back, we would have faced enormous difficulty in dealing with this pandemic. ICT is everywhere like water and air. For example, this conference which we are having wouldn't have been possible without the proper ICT to give us the remote conferencing facilities. So we must all be very grateful that there is ICT to take care of our immediate needs and the future needs, particularly for dealing with this pandemic. Now, the opportunities this pandemic has provided for ICT, we only look at remote sensing, remote working from home as an ICT contribution to fighting the pandemic. The major contribution of ICT is actually developing the vaccine, developing the medicine, developing the designer molecules for creating proper medicine. That is actually the contribution which is more important in fighting this COVID. And India as a country is situated at the right juncture to it is poised for a great economic revival because of its strength in ICT. As we all know, we have the largest number of skilled people in ICT facilities, and they will be able to provide us all kind of solutions. Even, for example, the development of the vaccine, India is at the forefront because the Serum Institute in Pune is almost on the verge of doing the human trials of the vaccine. So all is possible because of the availability of ICT in our phenomena. ICT has already given us various tools for doing the data science, data analytics of the pandemic. The Arogya Setu app, which is available from the government of India and which is telling us whether we are in a safe zone or not, is also thanks to the various ICT phenomena. Looking at this, it is very easy to see what is the future availability of this ICT is going to do for us as a country and for the world as a whole. One of the most important points going through is remote and distance. Social distancing is the norm. Remote working is the norm, and more importantly, even in manufacturing sector, the robotics and the machine learning which goes along with the robotics is going to be the key differentiator for a good country, for a good factory, for a safe factory than from a non-safe factory. And definitely ICT in India particularly is providing something great here. So, yeah, hello? Yeah, ICT is providing something great here. because India is also on the forefront of creating some good IoT and robotics solutions. These solutions are required by all the factories in the world, specifically in India, because once we have the solutions in place, all the talk about getting the industry moving from China to India will be reality. It won't be a reality if we don't have the robotics available. The problem with robotics in India particularly is what do we do with the vast manpower which we have? So we'll have to reskill the manpower so that the manpower is available to do something else, and they are not creating. We are not creating unemployment because of that. But however that may be, I think we are poised for a big uh, revival. And there is an example in the history for India. In 94, Surat plague. Surat was one of the many filthy cities in India. Right after that plague, because the people gathered together, they realized that the dirtiness of the city is the cause of the plague. Surat became the cleanest city of India. And this is the way India is able to do a resilience, particularly when faced with calamities. India has also been more united in face of calamities, which is happening even as we talk now, because every state and center are now working together to face this great calamity. Given this resourcefulness of the Indians, which as one of the earlier collaborators mentioned as the jugaad.com of Indians, we are able to bring the deaths of Indian COVID patients as the least in the world. Compared to our population, India has a very good record of managing COVID. And we must realize that although the numbers are looking huge and it's a sad thing to lose any person, we are still managing it much better than many other countries, thanks to the resilience and jugaad and the efforts put in by the government and the people together. And this is very important, and also a silent contribution from the ICT field, which is giving into India. Now, what more is to be done in ICT here, and where we are going to make a difference is the different payment methodologies which are being employed. The banker put something very interestingly that State Bank and other banks are really doing a tremendous job, but partly that job is being done because the number of people visiting banks has reduced because of the remote working of the financial transactions. But now there is a big challenge, and for which we have to poise ourselves. Bitcoin is round the corner, because for the remote payment facility, Bitcoin is going to be very useful. At the same time, there is going to be big frauds using Bitcoins. Already bigger frauds are being unraveled, which means data security is a field in which Indian ICT can actually contribute a lot. Why I am giving these examples is because the people in India, the particularly people involved in ICT field, have to gear themselves, have to poise themselves to develop solutions for these forthcoming problems. Any company which gives these solutions is going to rule the world, in my opinion. Cloud technology, cloud networking, also we have a great challenge there, and we have some excellent technology people here which can actually do the cloud technology. And doing the designer molecule, as I was mentioning, this is only possible because of the ICT programs. Some deeper programs are available for doing that, and that can actually create medicines which are going to be used for this particular epidemic, and the epidemics which probably will follow later. So I believe the future is going to be bright for our country, particularly with the skill set we have. And if the norms which are given by Dr. Raghavan for educational revamp and create more skill set than more graduates, mere graduates, I think we are going to reach there. I myself am a professor. I can see that we need skill sets more than the graduates. And that's one direction in which, again, the ICT technology is helping us to create skill-based training, which can be done at your home, and then you can do for practical senior school or college. I believe the future is bright. We are going to look at the brighter sun. It may not be available the next week or next month, maybe 3 or 4 months, or maybe a year hence, but people will go back to interviews once they get the vaccine / the medicine for this COVID-19 problem. So I am looking at a bright future, and with the kind of inputs I received in this, I think everybody shares the optimism, particularly in the wake of the situation which is unfolding. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, Dr. Suresh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nene, for the wonderful way of exhibiting the facts. Actually, digitalization is going to play a major role in every aspects, actually. And you are an expert. And whenever we need, definitely we will discuss all this with you. Thank you very much.
Seagull International Human Resource Consultants. Bridging the gap between dream and reality.